Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bigger, Braver Life Show. I'm your host, Angela Williams. I'm your coach and therapist, and I'm excited to bring on another guest today. We have with us the wonderful and lovely Bunny Divine. She's the headmistress of the one-of-a-kind Showgirls School in Switzerland, empowering women to bring fun back into their lives through the magic of burlesque and striptease. She's a burlesque performer, showgirl, dancer, choreographer, show producer, teacher, business owner, and visionary. Welcome, Bunny.
Yay, thank you so much. And thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. So, for all of you, for context, I met Bunny on the internet. Fun things that we've been able to do with the internet, meet awesome people from around the world. And she just stood out. She has a great personality, very sweet, very fun. And I thought this was so cool that she had this Showgirls School. And because of the pandemic, I believe, shifted to be able to, have classes online as well as in person. And so I thought, wow, this is really cool. And so we got to talking. She just is an amazing human being. And I got to do a little taste of one of her classes. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But I'm going to pass it over to you, Bunny. So tell us more about you and how you're living your bigger, braver life.
Yes. So, as you said before, I'm Bunny and I'm in Switzerland, which is really the country of my dreams. So, probably that's one of the ways already, making a living in the country of my dreams. And I would say that it all started when I first fell in love with burlesque. So it wasn't actually long ago, it was maybe 5 or 6 years ago, which is very important, I find, because many people, especially in dance and arts, they're all about, oh, I started dancing when I was 3, or, I had my first ballet class when I was 5. I only started dancing like 6 years ago. So it is for everybody, everybody can start, especially in burlesque. Basically, I just saw some women was in the changing room and they got into the room and they started to change into like beautiful lingerie and corsets. And I was like, oh my God, what is it? And then they told me, wow, it's burlesque. Like, what? I had never heard of burlesque before. And then the teacher came and she told me, oh, well, if you want, you can come to a trial lesson. And I said yes, and here I am. So I would say that this is the thing that ignited, this little fire, I think, in me. Because just before Corona, about 2 years ago, I was just going to school, like for burlesque. And then I learned one choreography every 2 or 3 months, and that was it. Until I decided that I wanted more. And from 2 years ago to now, everything changed. Now I have my own school. I have a performance troupe. I lead 25 women to be on stage. And I have the whole school with, I think nowadays we are around 80 students. We just started with our very first mixed gender course, which is amazing. In 12 years of the school, this is the first time we have a mixed gender. And now we are doing around 12 shows a year in Switzerland. Yes, plus the online school, the online courses, and all of those things. I'm revising my book because I already have a book, but now I'm doing a second edition with everything else I've learned. So I feel like it's all about growing and expanding, and this is just the beginning.
Oh, I love all of that. Yes. So you're really hitting some of the amazing themes that we've been talking about on the show, just right on the head when we're talking about expansion, we're talking about new opportunities, we're talking about wanting more, right? We can be super thankful for what we have and want more. And this is what gets us to those bigger dreams, those bigger visions, like you having your own school, having, many performances, many courses, right? You're doing so much to really just grow and in more in your vision and your dreams. That's amazing. So congratulations on all of that. Yeah. So tell us some of the origins, if you will, of burlesque and what are the benefits for people to engage?
Yes, that's an awesome question. So, well, burlesque as we know today was born around 100 years ago. And this is actually one of the things that started me as an entrepreneur now, because I wanted to kind of make homage to the person who first started with striptease. And her name is Carrie Finno. If you search for it, you'll find two or three people that were influential to start striptease. Carrie Finno is my favorite because she was so smart. She was booked for a week. And then for this week, she was supposed to just, come on stage and do her number. And she did. And in her number, she only took off a single strap of her dress. And everybody loved it so much that they wanted to see more. Then the second week came and she was booked for the second week. And then she took off the second strap and so on. So she was actually booked for a whole year. So it was a 1 year long striptease. During lockdown, we couldn't go anywhere. So I was pretty much home. Luckily, I have a room where I can dance. And then I just was like, okay, you know what? I'll do that. That was 100 years ago. So every day I will come up with something new to take off. And it's going to be 100 days of striptease. And that's when, people started to see me and become visible. That's when the old studio owner saw me and she was like, well, she's the right person to continue the dream. And that's why she offered the school to me and so on. We were just talking about the projector. So actually the school was offered to me. I'm a projector, that's what happens in my life. And then there was kind of burlesque died a little bit like in the 50s and 60s with especially the rise of like the television and people had entertainment at home. So many people didn't go out anymore, for theaters and so on. And then we had the second revival, which was in the 90s with Dita Fontees, which most people know. And pretty much what happened now that it wasn't before is burlesque is for everybody. So before first it was super hard, the first strippers were actually sometimes put in jail because you just couldn't show skin in some places. And nowadays, fortunately, because of these people, who paved the way for us, we can actually do that in a very safe space in a school. So we have, for example, courses for people who just come for the hobby and they just want this little outlet, like at home, especially as women, we wear so many hats. So you are a mother, you are a daughter, you work and you are a wife and you have so much on your plate. And when they come to class, they tell me, I love coming to class because here I'm just a woman and I can enjoy just being sexy and playing with myself and dancing and feeling good. And that's actually for everybody. So as just mentioned, we have now the mixed gender class and our teacher does drag queen. In fact, pretty much everybody can enjoy burlesque nowadays, just releasing like their wild selves, because in burlesque you can be anybody. It's a creative outlet and also very expressive. So you can be wild, you can be sexy, you can be dangerous, you can be sultry, everything you want to be.
Yes, I think you touched, on some of those benefits, being able to just show up as yourself and to explore in a creative way, some outlets and just have fun and play and, really bring more joy. That's really what it's about. So tell us more of the things that you've seen from your students as they come, even if it's a hobby or even if it's professional. What do they gain out of the class?
Well, several benefits. I'd say that the thing that I hear the most and that touches me the most probably is when they come to me and then tell me, I haven't felt this good about myself and my body in such a long time. And I was like, oh my God. It feels really like it's a calling more than anything. And they really come to me and say, I feel so comfortable with you. I feel like I can explore those things and I can explore other sides of myself that sometimes I have no other place to do that. And I think that's awesome. And that's one of the things that I love most about my job. And one of the things also they mention is how they start to feel really powerful in being feminine. And that's also for everybody, because normally, especially in our society, we tend to see as being feminine as being weak. So when you want to be powerful, you put on a suit or something. So you go to the masculine side. But one of the first mottos I had when I first started was feminine and powerful, and not feminine but powerful, because there is so much power in being a woman, and drawing from that power, especially if you are a woman listening to us, there is some very special thing in being a woman. We are sensitive. We know things. We just talked a little bit also about guts, and we understand and we see, and it's so special to be a woman and so powerful. And in burlesque, I see that they come, and when they learn, they can be really powerful exactly in those heels and exactly in that skirt, or in just exploring that wisdom that comes from our bodies. There is even, we talk about the embodiment and orgasmic yeses and so on. All the power that comes from that, you can harvest and use in class for your own fun. It's really fun. On stage, if you want to come on stage, many girls do. There is something really powerful about being on stage, looking at people and stripping as you wish. And also definitely at home, because there is two things. One thing is, I can tell you, if you can go up on stage and take off your clothes to strangers, you can do anything else in life. That's a lot of confidence. That's one thing. And the second one is, I find that, especially for me also personally, I used to be a tomboy before. So I didn't even own like heels until I started with burlesque. I didn't have skirts or anything. Today I don't have pants, for example. And I haven't changed as a person. I'm a big geek. In fact, I love video games and so on. And I actually feel more free to explore every part of my personality, because now I feel like I'm complete, because I can explore my femininity and I can also explore my masculinity. I can explore every single facet of who I am. And we are so complex as human beings. So I think it's really a great opportunity for people to explore their feminine side, including men or any gender, in fact. Our teacher who's teaching now, the drag queen, he asks actually, are you playing masculine? Are you playing more feminine? Which part of you are you exploring today? And that's it, it's just an exploration, and it's so much fun.
I love that so much. You touched on so many amazing pieces there, but I think, with the view of it as, because I think, sometimes striptease, burlesque can kind of get judgments and, right, can kind of get some naysayers, but really thinking about it as an art, as an exploration, like what a cool way. And with the benefits, like you said, having the increased confidence, having the freedom to explore all different parts of you. And that is super freaking awesome. Another thing, so just to share with all of folks listening and watching, if this, I was able to have the opportunity to do a striptease teaser course with Bunny, which was super fun and super cool. And I'm kind of a nerd too. I'm here to learn. Like I'm always like knowledge. Yes, I want to, increase my skills in something. And I was really surprised at how much fun. And like you said, you do get more body confidence. You do get more aware of your personality and your creative ability. And right, like you get to play, and it's so much fun. And one of the things that Bunny said before we started was, something she said already, which is that this is for everyone and everybody. Like this helps you to appreciate your body as is. There's no right or wrong time to do it. And I thought that was so empowering and inspiring and so needed, right? Like there's so much societal pressure to put us in a box, whether that's gender expression or to, you know, really conform to these societal norms of being skinny or whatever the thing is at the time, right? So I think this is such a beautiful way to mix that creative expression and play with that acceptance and self-love.
Yes, 100%. And also what you just touched before about like striptease and so on. Even the showgirl term, you know, sometimes people think, oh yeah, showgirl, and I'm not sure. And what burlesque does to you first, many people don't know that, but burlesque audience is mostly women because women love that and women love to watch other women just owning like their sensuality. So I would say that 80% of our audience is always women. And what is different is when you think of like before ads or something, the 90s especially, you know, you had like a car and a woman, you know, it was like were both objects that you wanted. In that way, the woman was the object pretty much. And what burlesque does is, and the striptease in general, is it brings you from the object to the subject. So now it's not about who is watching you because you are in full control. So when people come to watch, they are here to watch whatever you want to show or whatever you don't show. That's why the tease is so important because it's all about what you don't show. And you only show if you want to, when you want to, if the audience is good enough, and so on. So I always teach my girls to, especially, you know, like in class or if even if they go on stage, you're taking off even just a glove. And you're like, you know what? I don't want to take this glove off anymore. And you just do it because it's you. You are the subject. You own it. It's your stage. And there is so much power in that because you're not the object anymore. You are definitely the person creating that. So that's very good that you touched that because sometimes, you know, people get, I'm not sure, striptease. Besides, so many women do that just for themselves. Like, yeah, do that in your room. So our course, for example, the one you took, it was online because in fact, it's so good to be able to do that from the comfort at home. So you can be in your room, you can turn off your camera if you want, or if you want, you can show everything on camera too, because it's a safe space for everybody. And then there is all kinds of people. So from those that go to pasties to those people who are like, no, I'll just do a ring. And you can totally tease with a ring.
And I love that there's so many options. And for folks listening, Bunny is such an amazing, empowering. I've never taken a burlesque class, but you know, when I've seen it, it's like, oh, like you kind of think automatically, oh, we're getting right down to the stuff, right? You know, to the pasties or whatever it is. But that's really an option and a choice. And like you said, it could be a ring, it could be a strap. Like it's so awesome, the options, and Bunny does a really good job highlighting that. And so therefore, right, it does make it for everyone because some people may not want to go full, you know, show everything, or some people might just want to do a little, and that's all up to them. So cool.
Yes, yes. And it's all about also reteaching us to listen to our bodies and to our instincts, because very often we tend to rationalize things. So if you, I don't know, sometimes your gut tells you, you know, like, I'm not sure. Someone tells you, oh, let's go for a coffee or something. And really, you don't want to go, but you think, well, people will think I'm rude, or it will sound like not nice, you know, or someone is doing something you don't like, oh, you know, but I don't want to cause drama or anything like that. So it's all about reconnecting with your body and feeling it. And then you're like unzipping something, and then you feel like it feels good. I want to keep going. Yes. Or, oh, you know what? I'm okay with that. And then that's it. I'll do up to here, and that's fine. And when you can choose for yourself and your environment around you just accept you the way you are and how much you want, you feel so safe and you can go back to trusting your instincts. And that's so important, I find, especially
So
for women
important.
and for everybody.
Yes, and that's something, you know, a common thing on our show and a common thing that I work with all of my clients is strengthening that instinct, that, the gut reaction, there's so many names, right? I call it intuitive leadership. You are leading yourself by listening to and trusting what your inner knowledge is telling you. That's what I really help folks turn up the dial on, right? Because like you said, especially as women, we need all of the support we can get in that area. And this is another creative way to do it. I work with folks in more of talking through, okay, let's work through decisions. Let's feel your body, right? But this is a totally different way to do it. And that's so awesome.
I feel it reconnects you with this idea of the orgasmic yes. I like, is your body saying yes to that thing? The same way it says yes when you do something you love, then go for it. If it's not for you. Just so say no. And also this part of saying no. Say no, that's enough for me. And then when you see that, everybody's like, oh, okay, cool. You're like, oh, so I can't say no.
Yeah, we need to know that too, right? We need to be comfortable saying no and listening to ourselves 100%. That's amazing.
Yes.
So what if you had to give folks one thing that you want to share about burlesque or striptease or just any words of wisdom in general, what would that be?
So I would say that it's probably trust yourself and follow the fun. So I think that probably what I say, burlesque has 3 rules. So rule number 1 is have fun. Rule number 2 is have fun. And rule number 3 is everything is a can and nothing is a must. And actually, if you just follow that, if you follow the things that bring you joy and fun, you become so energetic and your energy becomes so magnetic to the things that really bring you joy and to the right people in your life. And you actually bring yourself to a position in which you will attract those people that will bring you more and more joy. I find that having fun is the way through anything, business and burlesque. And that's why I find helping women to bring that fun back into their life is so important.
So important. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. So Bunny, tell folks how they can find you and work with you.
Yes, so definitely on Instagram. So you can find me at Bunny Divine. So I don't have the first I in Divine. It's Divine. And I've just launched actually Patreon because I've been working on videos for my students and for everybody around the world, because really I feel it's a mission, and the women who need those things, they don't live just around me, right? So I want to reach as many women as possible. So I'm turning my content into online, and some things actually work better online, as the striptease, for example, that you can do on your own and so on. So it is Burlesque with Bunny on Patreon.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. If you are even just a bit curious, I highly encourage you to check her out. She really makes it a safe environment. She breaks down the lessons so easy, and it really encourages fun and empowerment. So awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today, Bunny. And for everyone else, we will catch you in the next episode.
Thank you.